Morning gang, it's Jay coming at you from the Hooch, and I wanted to do a little bit of an introduction to the video that you guys are about to watch on property patrolling techniques. This is really something that is near and dear to my heart. This is something where I have an opportunity where I have a camp on a large piece of property, and it's something that I do on a pretty routine basis. And it was something that the Prepared Wanderer wanted to kind of dip his toes into as well and learn about a few things. So I really tried to break it down to some very simple, basic patrolling techniques that one may utilize while out on a piece of property that they are patrolling, okay? It's not patrolling, not necessarily in a tactical sense or a military doctrine, but just how would you work it out as a couple of guys on a piece of property just maintaining it. Maybe it's a reconnaissance patrol, maybe it's a show of force patrol, letting people know that you are actively there, okay? Those are kind of the two big things there, and you kind of have to look at it from a viewpoint of who may be coming onto your property, whether it's, you know, maybe you have poachers coming onto the property, maybe you have, in a true SHTF scenario or WROL scenario, you know, that it's a real worry for you. Maybe you have raiders, marauders, people who are just up to no good. You have gangs. You have, I mean, you can run the gamut with it, right? So you need to be able to know who is coming and going from your property. So this was just a great opportunity to show those things to them. So this video is going to be broken into really two main parts. The beginning of it, because of the length of it, is really just on covering linear danger areas. That's it. Really just kind of breaking it down to the bare bones basics of things that you want to consider, things to look for, so on and so forth. I am by no means an expert. I have no military background to me.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
All me figuring this out on my own and doing it over and over and over again until I more fully understand it for myself. So this is me helping a fellow guy try to understand those concepts as well. All right. So if you guys have comments, questions, concerns, you guys know the drill. Put them down below. But please take this as a means of this is to learn. Nothing more, nothing less. This is basically informational, and it is me figuring it out and helping another guy figure it out as well. So I hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned. Up to our first linear danger area, a set of railroad tracks. So as you come up to an area like this, it's always, you want to make sure, in order to cross this, depending upon how many of you there are, obviously the more people you are, the better you can secure the near side and the far side of it. But in our example, it's just the two of us doing this, right? So the way that you would want to set this up is about 15 or 20 yards out from the area, if you're able to. This is the point where you want to go ahead and do a security halt to try to start getting an idea. Because as you can see here, we can see the immediate area for where these tracks cross in front of us. So you kind of get an idea here. This is where you do that security halts and you perform your SILs, your stop, look, listen, smell.
Okay.
Usually you would do that, in a perfect world, you would do that for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Let the woods come completely quiet and see what you can detect. If somebody has a camp nearby, you're probably going to be able to smell fire, what they were cooking, coffee. I mean, I can smell coffee from a pretty far away.
Yeah,
you know, somebody who smokes a cigarette or smokes a cigar, very distinctive smells.
Right.
You may be able to pick that up, and you're like, all right, somebody's in the general immediate area. So you know you're going to end up having to proceed with caution, trying to detect where the smell is coming from, or maybe you hear something, maybe you hear rustling. Or maybe you see activity of recent, foot traffic through here. I mean, we just had snow 2 days ago, so you would be able to detect recent movement in the area from that perspective. So when you're performing that security halts and you're doing your SILs, you're literally just squatting down, taking a knee, and you're just taking it in. it's just the two of us, I would focus on one side, you would focus on the other.
I was just going to ask that. If we split and then I look down to the left, you look down to the right.
Exactly, because that's going to play into, once we've determined that, hey, we performed our sills, we've detected nothing.
Right.
We now want to make sure we're going to start moving up then to our crossing. But as we do so, we're going to do it one person at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, obviously quietly. You're going to slow it way, way down. And the purposes of explaining it, we're not going to take 10 or 15 minutes to do it for the video.
Right.
So you're going to work your way up quietly, providing yourself some concealment to a specific spot where you can go ahead, get a better view down both sides. We're essentially securing this area is what we're trying to do. I would end up signaling for you to come up behind me, and this is all going to be done with not saying anything. Once we deem it safe to cross, you're going to provide the near side security while I make my way to the far side to start setting up the far side security. Because at that point, I'm setting up security to make it safe for you to cross now.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is, as I'm doing that, so we are going to decide ahead of time, hey, as I cross, I'm going to be providing my own security crossing looking that way. You're going to be providing security for me looking that way.
Okay.
So that way we have both avenues covered.
Right.
If there were more people with us, it's easier to do. Then the person crossing doesn't have to worry about providing their own security then. The smaller the team, the harder it is, plain and simple. That's why they say the lone wolf is never gonna survive. It's too hard. Then once I get to that side, set up security, deem it safe for you to cross, I'm gonna signal for you to cross, providing, once again, I'm going to provide security down the same side. You're gonna provide your own as you work your way across.
Okay.
So as I come out of this concealment, I've deemed that we've secured this side and it's good for me to cross. I'm going to go ahead, and you want to be quiet about it, but quick. So it's literally, you deemed it safe. Now you're going to go ahead and quietly get to a point of concealment, wave you across. Once I've secured the area, wave you across while you're providing your own security as well down one side. You're going to come meet me and go beyond me. Because then you're going to set up the far security. I'm going to meet you and we're going to do sills again.
So we're leapfrogging, basically.
Yes. So now we're going to do stop, look, listen, smell for another 10 or 15 minutes because maybe we alerted somebody from our crossing.
Okay.
Another 10 or 15 minutes go by, we've deemed it, we're clear, we can continue on with our patrol. Now, in a case like this, when you look down both sides, you can see a long ways, right?
Yep.
Like, there is not a good area to cross.
No.
You are in full view. In a perfect world, especially if you're at a turn, we're at a radius of a road, or maybe the railroad tracks makes a bend here. You would want to cross at that shortest parts, because then that's the shortest visual folks would have of you who are set up. So that would be, the tighter the area, the more secure you can make it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Total sense. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if this was a bigger area,
right,
more space to cross, it's going to take even more time to do it. But it's harder. The smaller your group, the harder it is to come across.
Right.
You and I are wearing two completely different kinds of boots, right? So we're going to have two different kinds of tread patterns on our boots. So somebody coming through here tracking, I mean, we have some nice footprints here, right? You can tell, like, here's one.
Yep.
But look at the one over to the right, up above it. That's a separate boot. That's a different boot. So now, if you're coming through here, and let's say you and I were coming through on our patrol, and we've come upon those footprints. We know, okay, 1, 2. There's two people who have been through here since the snow has fallen in the last 2 days.
Right.
That's a visual tracking clue that, hey, these footprints are going that direction. You know, we don't see anything coming the other direction. So they've come in this way, but we have no idea where they've come out. So that right there, if in a security patrol manner, somebody's been on your property. And it's not you because those aren't your boot prints.
Right.
So now that becomes an avenue of, now you know, okay, we have, you know, somebody has come through the perimeter, if you want to say it that way, and they're actively on your land. They may not be on your land right now, but they might be. So you would want to conduct yourself appropriately to it. Now you're really going to start slowing things down, because now you're in tracking mode now. Where if we didn't see that, we're in our normal posture then. We're in a little bit more of a relaxed posture. So yeah, that's how I would take that.
Okay.
And then you continue on. But that's always a tough spot. Linear danger areas are tough, but they're good to practice. Good to practice setting up. And it's not a bad idea. Like if you wanted, in a training scenario, if you wanted to set up a mannequin so far down, camouflage it, see if you can see it.
Yeah.
You know, like if I were to, if you and I knew, hey, it's suspected there's two unknowns on the property right now. What a great exercise to try to set something up in advance. Like if I were to come out and set up some dummies,
Right.
and then have you come with me and take lead, at what point would you notice them?
Yeah.
What if we set them up where we had them
Right.
hidden in that ditch 50 yards away, and you and I came through here and we didn't detect it?
Yeah.
Like then we could come back and I could be like, all right, we missed something here,
Yeah.
Wendell. What did we miss?
Nice.
Let's go back. Let's identify because you missed something. What is it?
Well, and we could do a similar thing where you're leaving clues. So a gum wrapper, a cigarette butt,
Yeah.
you know,
A beer can,
you know,
whatever.
We do things like that in search and rescue, where you'd set out trails and see if the newbies could pick up on those clues as they're
Yeah.
hiking. It's the same thing.
I like it. That's
Yeah.
good. And it's all about learning. It's what it comes down to. I mean, I'd rather work my butt off training
Yeah.
and practicing than, heaven forbid, the time come and you're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I didn't know about this. Yeah, it's good stuff to know.